There are lots of people who I imagine came onto this because they're really interested in how it is they connect their faith to someone else's faith, and trying to get involved and make that meaningful and creating a more equitable and just racial world. How can we do that though? To speak to somebody, a citizen, maybe not a faith leader, who really just wants to get involved in the work. What would you tell them as a way of instruction of how we get going? Rev, the floor is yours.
I'm not asking God to come do anything. I just want to be where he's already working. Right? So what are the ways in which, so what I would say to the Aspen Institute with all that money y'all got, find out who catching hell, who doing interfaith organizing, slide some bread over there, and then go on over there and see about them every night. Right? In terms of, because Dr. Blackman and I have been on a million of these commissions. We have talked and sat and been in the meetings about folk catching hell when we can, at the same time, our phones are blowing up in these meetings because of the people we love and pastor in the streets are catching hell. So the question for me is that where are people catching hell and how you showing up, right? So if you want to go to Rochester, New York, there's an interfaith group there struggling there. If you're thinking about the prison industrial complex, there's an old black lady who's been organizing against prison work in Chicago, and among them were Ahmadiyya Muslims as well as Sunni and Shiite Muslims. If you want some interfaith work going over there in the Philly, where they got one of the oldest black Shiite communities in the United States, right? If you don't win in Georgia against all that money without an interfaith coalition. So the question is not whether every movement I've been in has been interfaith. Whether it been the war on the precious people of Iraq, right, where we had Japanese Buddhists who sang "Go Down Moses," right? So it's not in the question of whether or not interfaith work is happening. It is whether or not those of us who are in the professional managerial class are in proximity to struggle. Those of us who get paid to teach, write books, and lecture, and and work inside the denominations, which I'm guilty of. I ain't casting disparage. I wouldn't be able to eat if it wasn't for liberal white folks giving me money to talk to them about black struggle. So I'm not going after that, but I also understand my positionality. What are the ways in which we are in proximity to the suffering of everyday people? So in Queens, brother Singh, what little Sikh kid is catching hell? And can you show up for him, right? And so to me, if like a rabbi laid it out in terms of these various gaps, I think one of the other gaps is that how are your feet on the ground in the midst of struggle in uncomfortable situations?